Good.
Hi guys, we're going to do the rest of 12.4 today, 12.5 on Friday, 12.6 on Monday, and either 12.7 Wednesday and Friday or just Wednesday. We'll have the test. So, just an update. We'll do 12.4 today, 12.5 on Friday, on Monday 12.6, and possibly then 12.7 on Wednesday and Friday, or on Wednesday. The idea is to give you guys a chance to. Oh, I know why. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Well, it sounded like I was in a windstorm, and because I forgot about the fans are super loud. Okay, so 12.4 today, we actually only have 2 examples to practice kind of problems. We are going to go through them, and then we're going to go and then basically do some practice stuff. So if you have any questions from the homework, please write it in the comment section. We'll have plenty of time to go over it. Okay, 2C and 2D. Anyone else? Feel free to write. I'll go over it. Okay? So we're going over example 3. Let me blow example 3 up so you can see it closer. Okay. Let's just go in so close that it is actually legible. Okay. So essentially, we're going to simplify a fraction where the top is a quadratic and the bottom is quadratic. Now, I was thinking about anyway doing some stuff with this, but we'll just go the way the book does because it'll be easier than what I was going to say. So we get x squared minus 3x minus 10 over x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so we're going to have a quadratic on top and a quadratic on the bottom. Now, for the sake of our purpose, we want to factor them. Okay, so factoring is going to be part of this homework just to get you to recall how to factor. Okay, so the top, this is a 1, so 1 and negative 10. What are factors of negative 10? Well, that would be negative 2 and 5, negative 5 and 2, and we know that these two add up. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So the top becomes x minus 5 times x plus 2. And the reason why we can just put these numbers in at the end is because we have a 1 right here. If it was different, we would have to do something else. Bottom, we have 8 and 1, so our factors of that are 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 1 and 8. Obviously, it's going to not be 1 and 8 since this is 6, so it's going to be 2 and 4. It doesn't matter which one you choose because the order is not important for multiplication. Okay? So, we write this. Now remember, our first step for all these simplifying problems has been to find the excluded values. So we set the bottom equal to 0. So x plus 2 times x plus 4 equals 0. So either x plus 2 is 0 or x plus 4. So x plus 2 equals 0. That gives us x equals -2. And x plus 4 equals 0. So x equals -4. So our excluded values, EV, is x equals -2 and 4. Now we can simplify. So what are simplifying? We have x plus 2 on the top and x plus 2 on the bottom. So this is multiplication right here. You see this? This is multiplication, so we can cancel these. So then our answer would be, let's just erase something. Let's erase this, since this is, you can do this stuff to find excluded value. So our answer would be x minus 5 over x plus 4. Now you don't really need this parentheses. That was just from writing it. So, and that would be your answer, okay? Yeah, oh sorry, -4. That's my fault, -4. Yeah, exclude value is -4. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so simplifying these is all about factoring. If you factor properly, it can simplify easily. Okay? They talk about graphing. You don't need to worry about graphing it. It's way too much to graph right now. So let's look at another example. Okay? Okay. Gonna erase this real quick. I'll go into our next examples. And then we'll do some practice problems. I'm just going to go over practice problems and the homework questions so that you guys will be comfortable with that. Now, you notice on the bottom here that this is written kind of backwards. So I don't really like having a negative in front of our x squared if possible. So what you can do is the top, we'll just not change for a second. But the bottom, we're going to factor off a -1. So this would become x squared minus 16. Okay. Only reason why I did that is just because I want it this shape. It will make it, we're at 8 minutes. We'll probably finish at 30 minutes. So 30 minutes. They're definitely shortened. Well, when I break up a section, it shortens it. Okay, so factoring the top, we get 12 has factors 3, 4, and 2 and 6. But the problem is it has more, 1 and 12, but we don't care about that. But this is negative, so we're going to think -3, -4, -2, -6. Which ones add up to be -7? Well, that would be this right here. Again, there's a 1 in front, so we get x minus 3 times x minus 4. And the bottom is squared minus a squared. So a squared minus a squared is going to be x plus the square root of this times x minus the square root of this. Okay? Excluded values are just the bottom. So we get x plus 4 equals 0. So x equals -4 and 4. And that's our EV. That's one of our answers. Then, what can we cancel? Oh yeah, there's a -1. See, the -1 doesn't affect the bottom at all. It's negative on the outside, doesn't do anything. We do leave it for the purpose of our thing. So, what can we cancel? We can cancel an x minus 4 and x minus 4. So we get x minus 3. Sorry. Over negative x plus 4. Now you can distribute this if you want to simplify it a little more. So we get negative x minus 4. And that would be our answer right there. Okay? So think about it this way. What's negative 1 times 0? It doesn't really do anything. So these parts right here are each their own number. So if you think about an example, with 3 times 4, right? 3 doesn't affect the 4, it only affects the solution, the product. It doesn't affect the number 4 itself. 4 doesn't change because 3 exists. So in a sense, negative 1 is just another number. So that negative 1 stays with us till the end, and then we can bring it back in. So it's like we broke it up, worked on one part, so we worked on this 4 because we could do something with it. Then we come back and we see, okay, this 3, now we multiply it to give us 12. But before, we could just deal with this and turn it into 2 plus 2, and work on the 2 plus 2 and do stuff like that. So you can pause your math. Essentially, like if you have multiplication, you can pause it so you don't immediately apply it. A really good example of this is higher level math. When solving something one way is not going to be possible. You're not going to solve it if you just straight multiply. But yeah, like so, see, they distributed to front. Yeah, it didn't disappear. It's just not. It isn't helpful for us to go through it earlier. That's what I would say. Okay, x squared plus 3x plus 2 over x squared plus 7x plus 10. Okay, how about you try one of these two problems? I'm going to pull up the homework, or you could try both of them. Be ambitious. Do both. Actually, ambitious is not the right word. I don't know what the right word is. Push yourself. Do both. Okay, so simplify these two, find the excluded values, and I'll give you a minute while you're doing that. I'm going to pull up the homework to see 2C and 2D. Okay. This one. 2C, 2D. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what that is. Okay. 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 Anyone get any answer for the first one? Really? Finish under 20 minutes. I'll try to finish under 20 minutes. Okay, excluded values. You said -2 and -5. So for factoring the bottom of this, x squared minus plus 7x plus 10, the factors of 10 are 2 and 5. And that adds up to be 7, so you get x plus 2 times x plus 5. And on top, if you factor 2, you get 1 and 2. 1 plus 2 is 3, so you get x plus 1 times x plus 2. Does not matter order. So to find excluded value, set the denominator equal to 0, so x plus 2 equals 0, which means x equals negative 2, and x plus 5 equals 0, so x equals negative 5. Canceling out, we can only cancel out things that are multiplied, so x plus 2 times and x plus 2. And our final answer is x plus 1 over x plus 5. There we go. Beautiful answer. Okay, that is our first one. So if you have any questions on how we do this, I know factoring is not easy skill, but this is to take your lesson marks. Yeah, so after I finish this example, I'm going to go over any questions on the homework. So right now, the only questions on homework are 2C and 2D. Okay, so the top is 2 squares, right? And so you just take the square root of 64, you get 8. Yeah, this is the last example. So you get y plus 8 and y minus 8. It's just, that's a pattern that we have learned before. This is also a pattern, but for your sake. So what goes into 64? 8 times 8. There's going to be more. 4 times 16, 2 times 32, and it's impractical after this point. But this is negative, so we just put negatives in front of everything. And the only one that works is the negative 8. So you get y minus 8 times y minus 8. And so our EV, our excluded value, I'll put it right here. EV is y equals 8 because they're both the same. And so you cancel 1 and 1. So what you get is y plus 8 over y minus 8. And that is your answer right here. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask it. I'll come back to these if necessary. These just, yes, it only works if it's subtraction. That is true. It doesn't work. Addition can't be factored. So if there's a plus right here, this would never be able to be factored. Unless you use magic. So just think, if it's positive, there's probably imaginaries there. Okay. Okay, let's blow this up so that you guys can see it. That's plenty blown up. Probably too much. That's good. Okay. Okay, first one, 2C. Which is kind of ironic. The first one is 2C. You know, other people could also watch this and then get help on the homework. Because I know there's people who would prefer that. Okay. Should I do an extra credit with imaginary numbers? I always think about that. Because I think imaginary numbers are really cool, but we don't get to deal with them in regular school. Sadness. Okay. So we have h plus 3 over h squared minus h minus 12. Well, look at the bottom. That's something we can factor, right? What goes into negative 12? Negative 3 and 4, negative 4 and 3, and negative 2 and 6, negative 6 and 2. Which one adds up to be negative 1? Well, that's right here. This one adds up to be negative 1. So we get h plus 3 over h minus 4 times h plus 3. Our EV is going to be pretty clear. Set the bottom equals 0. And so h minus 4 equals 0. So h equals 4. Sorry, h equals 4. And h plus 3 equals 0. So h equals negative 3. Now, what can cancel? The top actually is multiplication if you group it like this. Just kind of to give you visualization that it is multiplication. So you can cancel the two factors. So you get 1 over h minus 4. And this would be your clear answer. Okay? Okay, let's go over D. I feel like D is a little bit different than what we've been doing today, but it is based on the lessons nevertheless. So it's about what you factor off first. So you get 6z squared minus 24z over 2z squared minus 8z. So what goes into both top things? Well, 6 and 24, so 6 goes into both, and z goes into both. So we can factor out 6z. So this becomes z, and then negative 24z becomes 4, because we just divided it out, 6z. Same thing with bottom. What can we factor off? Well, 2 and 8, 2 goes into both. Z and z goes into both. So 2z goes into 2z squared, z times, or, the factor of z. Negative 8z divided by this becomes 4. So I just am factoring off something in both the top and what's in the bottom. So if you factor off, you see that z and z are the same. So something has to come up, and that would be a z. 6 goes into both 6 and 24. Okay? What goes into 2 and 8? That would just be a 2. And what goes into z and z? That would be a z. Okay? So far, I just factored off something and have it written as factors. Okay? Now, so then excluded value. First excluded value. Okay, now we set 2z equal to 0 and z minus 4 equal to 0. So 2z, we just divide both sides by 2, so z equals 0, and z equals 4. So our excluded value is z equals 0 or 4. Yeah, that's excluded value. Let me write my z more prominent. Okay, then what can simplify? Okay, well the z minus 4 and the z minus 4 are both factored. The z and the z are both multiplication, so we can just cancel those two. 6 and 2, how do we simplify that? Well, that becomes 3 over 1. So our answer is 3. Now, originally, you look at this mess, and it's like, how is that 3? But as you break it apart, there's things that will come out. And those things that come out make it easier to simplify and make the problem simple. Okay, I went over 20 minutes, but I did go pretty quickly over the lesson. So, any questions over this? Over the last one? This one was 6 problems. I'll probably still do 6 problems. Just 6 questions. This is 1 A and B, 2 A, B, C, D. So the next homework will probably be 1 A, B, 2 A, B, C, D. And this next homework is going to review some of these types of ones, but mainly focus on the ones we did today. And the reason for that is because I think it's crucial that you guys, basically, it helps you in factoring. You guys will be so much better at factoring the more you practice it. It does take time, obviously. Do you guys ask for B and C or C and D? C and D, okay. 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 Yeah, so any questions? Have a great day, guys, or night, and I will talk to you on Friday, 12.5. Okay, bye, guys.